set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. First arabesque. Say, yeah. Plie. 1, 2. Push it back. 3, 4. Rounders. 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to take a low position for double arabesque. Double arabesque. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Settle yourself. 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. Then you're going to take balance, attitude, step back, balance, step back on attitude, through the plie, arabesque, pass it through into your pirouette underdone, and beautiful pirouette underdone, underwater, I'm sorry, pirouette underwater, finish it up in a full position. 1, 1, and no, 5. Push it back to 1 to the first position. 7 and 8. Set up. Stand into long. And 1. Double. Reverse arabesque. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Settle. 5 and 6. Stretch your knees. Back. Lance. Back. Attitude. Back. Lance. In back. Attitude. Plie. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Find comfortable position for your double and good double pirouette. People pirouette. Double position. Circle. 4. First line. Okay, one more. Let's go down. Can we see everyone? Into attitude croisette and shoulder front and 1. Rounders set into long position to the 4 and quarter left. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Settle in this place. Yes, stretch your knee. Just good knee on the spot. And through the left. Balance 1, 2, 3. Yes, please. Left side, right away. Girls, a little bit more upper body movement and for the girls. Nice, Alicia. Natalia, 3. Through the first position and push. Stay with this arabesque. Plia. Back to the first position. Cross attitude. Sustain. And very lifted transverse. Your long position is what double arabesque. Don't crunch your elbows. Stay lifted. Sustain this arabesque. Stretch your knees softly. Good. And on one start, balance. 1, 2, 3, up. One more and up. Pique arabesque. 1. 4 position. Pirouette under or. And close it nicely. Thank you so much, ladies. Second group. Thank you. Thank you, Maria. We can start. Allonge. The left side to the right. Push it in the first arabesque. Nice plie. Press it back through the tangi. Yes. Attitude croisette. Other arm. And through the shoulder. Down. Up. And right away to your long forward. Heel forward. And up. Remain in arabesque. Let us see this arabesque. Left side, we're going to switch the line. Middle line remains the same. Front line is going to go back. Back line is just going to go back. Great. Left side. Everything in. One, shoulders back. Into first arabesque. Throw the demi-point nicely, girls. Watch your left foot. Et plie, push it back. 1, 2, and again cross a step. And nice lift at the reverse. Beautiful glide through this first arabesque. Glide. Remain up clear and shimmy how you can rise. Nice. The breath pass it through. 1, 2, 3. Push it back. 1, 2, 3. Arabesque. 1. And nice pirouette spot. Thank you so much. Third group, please. 4 girls. Good. Then I want some. Go from 3 and 3. Ready? The left to the right. 1 and 2. Then 3. Hip inside. Don't let go of this hip. Already back. Close in. And pass it through all positions. First, arms a little bit more in front. Stay steady, grounded on the bottom. Longest step into first arabesque. Reach it there. Reach. Yes, good. And come back to cross attitude. 1. And through the right shoulder front. And stay lifted until the breath. Don't go down. Long 4 position. Glide. I need to see the landing. On plie landing, not yet your 1. Stay on arabesque with everyone. Stretch your knee on the bottom. And on 1. Balance. Attitude. Balance. Attitude on releve, please. Releve. And first arabesque. 1. All right, switch the lines. First line back, back line front, middle space. Ready? E. And open chest goes down. Don't take the hunchback with you. Long lower back lifted through the first position. Pass it back through the tendu. Show me the foot first and then pass it nicely. Left shoulder front. And the long position ready. Releve through E. Balance 1, 2, 3. Reach back in attitude. Reach back attitude. And 1 last piquet. Spot on top. Thank you, girls. Okay, good. Everyone is well done. There's not too much complicated confusion. We'll start with 2 clauses. F1. Coordinate your arms. Yes, your arms first position until ready. E and 1 and 2. Ready? First piece. First piece. Stay on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you back. 1. Get up.
I can't type at the same time. You post messaging.
All right, to the right and left, together, no problem.
Do we have another?
I will adjust the rhythm if I need it a little slower, yeah? Okay, girls, ready? E. Watch your face. E. Through the 4. 2 more. Close arms. Linia. Soutenir. Feet. First piece. First
and they're going to comment. Do you have the audio on? I think so. Yeah. I can't get down.
First feet. And turn to the left. Up, down. Shift your body. Shift your body. Keep on your back.
I can partner you, trust me.
No, you can. She's going to slowly reverse and sit next to John and Catherine. Can we get a stick? Where's the stick? I think it's probably in the stick. She's filming in 302. You can.
I have to sit there.
But you have to talk to me. Oh.
All right, here we are. What level is this, Catherine?
These are the junior final round participants, if I am correct. Yes, these are the dancers that have been chosen for this evening's final round.
Wow, so polished. I just hope they have something left after a demanding class like this.
Yes. This is Catherine Morgan and John Celia, and we are going to be giving you a little bit of commentary as we go here. We don't want to talk too much and distract you from the dancers, but just give you our insights.
And this class is being taught by Natalia Bashkatova.
Former principal with Bolshoi and Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil, right.
These are the top 35 scores, over 100 dancers in the junior category.
Both contemporary and classical.
Yes, the scores were combined.
Excellent. Now, Catherine, do you think a class like before they have to present their variations, is it different than just a regular class where they have the evening off?
Oh yes, I mean, speaking from experience, you will get many dancers that are more comfortable on the stage than in class. That was me. And then the reverse. You'll get some dancers who love class and performing is harder for them. So it's good to see the dancers both perform and then also be in technique class.
And I just have to give props to these dancers, right? They're usually used to doing a class that they're really used to. They're so familiar with the teachers, right? And now they're probably taking Natalia probably for the first time on a crucial day when they have to perform their variations.
Absolutely. And especially if they're trained in a different style. You know, Natalia is very Russian, Vaganova.
I was going to mention that.
And it's a completely different style for some of these dancers who might be more RAD trained or Cicchetti or even Balanchine.
Right. All right, traveling turns. There we go. We see also they have shed all their leg warmers and they are streamlined here. And they have numbers like auditions.
Oh yes.
I guess if we had a sheet, we would know their names, where they're from, what variation they'll be performing. All right, we have that.
as you'll see if you've seen judges walking by, they are evaluating these dancers for scholarship positions at their various schools. So, for example, we have Claudio Munez here from Houston Ballet, Jose Carriol from Joffrey. Behind me is Christopher Sellers from Ballet West. So they are evaluating these students about potentially giving them scholarships for either summer programs or for the year.
Hence the numbers.
Yes.
Right. All right. Now, look at how clear the demonstration is from Miss Bashkatova, huh? Is she still performing? I don't think so.
I think they're getting it.
What, Jolie?
They can hear it.
I would also like to point out another interesting thing about this is that on stage, in their classical variation, you see them on point, but this is a chance to see how their feet work in ballet shoes, which is really important, actually.
Right, I know. I used to remember everybody putting their point shoes on for center. Here we're staying in flat shoes.
Good point.
There we go. Look at this arabesque from 314. You know what's amazing to me is how comfortable these dancers are dancing so close to one another. Right? I used to like take my own corner
Same.
because I didn't
Get
know
out of
which
my
way I
way.
was going to fall.
I think the other thing, they've had to relearn how to dance in a mask, which can absolutely throw your balance off.
Really?
In a turn, too. Like it can, if you see it peripherally, it can throw your turn off.
Interesting. All these, as if turning wasn't hard enough. Here we go. Look at these fifth positions. Hello. Exemplary fifth positions. Now, as judges, what I'm looking for in pirouettes is control and not doing too many so you fall off of half point. I always like to see the pirouette kind of controlled at the end. Even if it's a double, even if it's a triple, if they're on half point at the end, I'm liking it.
I think the other thing you can see is if the dancers are, do we get greedy or we stay on the music? That was what my teachers always used to say to me, don't get greedy.
I had a teacher that would always say, take the ugly one out. Like I'd be doing a triple and then I'd go for that extra one and it would ruin the whole effect of the triple. So I always remember to take that ugly pirouette out and to never hop too. I also had a teacher that was like, if you're hopping in pirouettes, you're already jumping and we're not jumping yet. It's nice to hear live music again too for classes. Right? Since COVID, it's been all recorded music. For me at least.
She's going to stop for a second.
You can't pause.
Is the wings coming down too?
We pause for this.
You can't pause it. You can't pause it.
You just want the sight first and then the leg? Sight first.
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
See
everybody.
us live.
Hey everybody, it's John Celia and
Catherine Morgan.
we're here at Natalia Bashkatova's ballet class here at junior level, the junior finalists.
Age 12 to 14.
And they'll be performing their variations tonight, right?
Yes, and they just found out they were finalists last night at around 10 p.m. So they were called to this class. It's all very new and just happened.
Right. But as dancers, we're ready. We're like the Minutemen. You get the call up and you're ready to go with your best foot forward.
Slap on the shoes and go. which at their age is fine.
And look, I mean, at least they're getting comfortable kind of in a performing environment. They're doing class on stage without the mirror rather than being in a studio. You know,
Yes,
I think
legs.
they're already feeling the performance vibe, which is important.
I also think this is something that schools and directors look for, is how quickly you can adapt. Can you handle a stressful situation, like a class on stage? Can you handle, you know, oh, you found out this morning you have to do this. It's part of it. It's not just about looking good in your usual environment.
Right, right. Yeah, it's about being not adding, you're right, dancing is hard enough. You've got to be able to adapt to all these extra extraneous things and, you know, bring your A game no matter what, right?
Absolutely.
That's good, Vince.
Vince is good.
Yep.
We've got a whole tech crew here for our class,
God, I
too.
think Ruben and Dave.
They're bringing in the backdrop, so you'll have a cleaner backdrop to watch.
Ah, yes. There it is. And we're already on balances and pirouettes here. All right, look, ready to go. It's funny, I don't know about you, Catherine, but I never was allowed to start a combination in a B plus coupe in class.
Oh,
It was
really?
always a position. Yeah.
No, we did B plus all the time.
You did? At
All the
SAB?
time. Oh, yes.
Oh, fouette en dedans. We don't always see that.
On one. Dégagez. And long position straight. Coupe. In. Not yet. On one. And chip. And huge développé.
Huge development. Is there any other kind?
No, you can do
Nice.
Mediocre
Then you
développé.
traveling and finish with Marchionette.
All right, Sinead.
The fourth position.
And being reminded to finish
Yes.
from Miss Bashkatova.
very important.
Here we go next. All right, pirouettes to arabesque. Let's get on their leg now. They're doing it no problem.
If there are any non-dancers watching, this is probably one of the hardest pirouette combinations I've ever seen.
We're back here kind of wincing at the level of difficulty of this class on such an important day for them. Right, I had a teacher who was like, we're not going to do yoga today. All right, meaning you're going to be challenged. You're going to have to really bring it.
It's part of adapting, though.
That's it. Such nice finishes. Good. Now, did you work on running off when you were in class?
All the time. We were never allowed to just finish and leave. Like, you had to exit as if it wasn't stage.
Interesting. They always wanted me to get out of the way as quickly as possible. So you break that mode of dancing and just run off. I think there's an element of nerves in this class, Catherine.
Oh my goodness. And nerves can do funny things to your muscles. They can make you tense up. They can make you tired twice as fast.
Right. Oh, not number 301. Great high passe.
301 is Natalie Steele from Dmitry Kulov Academy.
Excellent, Dimitri. Excellent teacher there in Southern California. Always impressed by his students. But I feel this year he has a particularly strong cadre of students. All right, I hope everybody's enjoying this show. These dancers look splendid.
Other studios represented today. I've seen Elite Classical Coaching. I've seen Skyra of Orlando.
Who Miss Bashkatova is
Master
part of.
Yes. Yes, she is. Master Ballet Academy. The Rock in Nevada.
any rock students from Pennsylvania here this year.
No.
But luckily there is a rock school in Nevada, not to be confused with the School of Rock, the Broadway show, or the movie. All right, well. Wow. Did they luck out?
They
Unless
lucked
you're a
out.
lefty,
Unless you're a lefty.
right?
Corner, yes? Make sure you 4 or 5.
I would have been thrilled.
Okay, there
Yeah,
you can
I would have been
just
too.
warm up.
Even somehow going to the left side, I would always figure out a way to make it look like I was doing the left when I was going right.
Yeah, box is gonna go onto none. On 1. And 4 and chassé to none will be your final one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
They're so lucky to have a dancer demonstrating like this too. I know when I teach, I have a very hard time demonstrating. I usually ask a student to demonstrate because the clarity gets lost in my body.
I think that's a good technique though, because then the students get used to being put on the spot.
Right.
And having to adapt. Adapt being the key word.
Sink or swim,
Yeah.
plie or releve. All right, Jolie. Jolie, we have to give props to Jolie for being an excellent camera person here. That's it, we're using the zoom.
She's been holding up the camera for this entire class.
All right, first group.
So John,
Yes.
were you more of a jumper or a turner?
I was a jumper, but I also love turning. But yeah, but my main strength was jumping. I love jumping. You know, I was having a conversation like this the other day. Usually when you're dancing, sometimes it's hard to gauge how you're looking. But when you're jumping, you know when you're jumping high and you're jumping well for some reason. You know, as opposed to like presenting an adagio where it could be feeling one way and looking the other way. Jumping, I always thought was really, you get much more in touch with yourself that way. And this is a very complicated jump for our first jump of the day, I think. It's traveling, right?
Yes, it is traveling.
Yeah.
But it showcases them off a little bit better than just a jump in place.
Well, you are right again. It's just so, isn't it? It's always surprising how many different types of classes there are, right, in the ballet world. Because I was used to just staying in one place doing the jumps, right? I never would even consider traveling jumping on the first set.
Absolutely.
Right. You got to point that bottom foot and saute too. And at this level, Catherine, I've noticed like those kind of notes and corrections that we give on the regional level, they're kind of not present here, right? Everybody's
Absolutely.
using their feet really well. Everybody's articulating their turnout, maximizing the rotation.
Absolutely. I feel like at a competition at this level, it's no longer about who's pointing their feet and who's
Right.
turning out. It's who has the special something that you can't teach. And
Right.
that's what the judges are looking for.
That X factor.
Yes.
All right. A lot of use of épaulement in this jump as well.
At least for me as a judge, that is one of the biggest things I look for when judging is the use of the neck and the head. Because if you can't emote with the upper half, it will not read on stage.
Totally.
I tend to give lower scores for the dancers that don't use the head and neck, but these dancers are all doing that beautifully.
Totally
That's
agree.
why they're finalists.
Totally agree. Like dance aficionados and kind of like experts like us, like we'll fixate on legs and feet and positions and clarity, whereas the general public is mostly moved by the upper body and the épaulement. Those weren't students there,
Back,
in case you were worrying about the dress code.
1 and 2 and 1 to do so front, like in this.
This one right here, 208, Crystal Wang.
I know Crystal. Is she from California?
She's in The Rock in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
And behind her, 232 is Kennedy Kaler, same school.
All right. Represent the Rock.
And the pink one. And the pink one, 243.
Oh, and 243 in the pink as well.
Now, Catherine, what do we think about the variety of leotards our dancers have now? Right? In my day, we just had solids. And I know that you're a leotard expert. Do you have your own line of leotards?
I am working on that.
Okay.
I am working on that. Stay tuned. Ask me next year. No, in my day there was probably 3 brands total.
Right.
Block, Capizio, and one that's no longer around. But I think it's also for these dancers. It's sort of their fashion statement.
Yeah.
You can show your personality.
So what would you recommend a dancer wear, like in a situation like this where it's a kind of an audition situation? Do you go subtle or do you go bold?
I don't know. I mean, we always had to wear black and pink. I mean, that was sort of a thing. I would probably go not necessarily bold, but a color, a unique color, like this, like 218 has on. I love that color.
Cabernet?
Yes, I mean they have numbers on, so it really doesn't make that much of a difference. But it just sort of catches your eye.
Right. I guess it's what makes you, like, I always wanted to wear what made me feel the most like me, what made me feel the most comfortable. Right. If I was in a uniform that I felt kind of constricted or didn't represent the way that I felt, I always was a little more, a little less able to project.
Yes. Right foot on the back.
Well, and like 288 in the back, Isabel Meyer from Elite Classical Coaching. I love the floral. She's working the floral today.
Now, Elite Classical Coaching, is that a school?
Yes.
Or is that an individual or?
It's a smaller school. She's doing great things down there in Texas.
Is it Dallas?
It's Dallas. I believe it's Dallas or just outside of Dallas.
Right.
And she has a small number of students, but they get a lot of hands-on attention and personalized correction.
Hence the coaching moniker.
Yes.
Right.
And her students just look better and better each time I see them.
Should I just end it and you start with the next combination?
They're doing great things in Texas, though, right? Haven't you seen amazing dancers from Texas here?
Multiple schools.
Yeah.
Dallas Conservatory,
Right.
Ballet Academy of Texas,
Elite Classical Coaching.
Just we're gonna repeat this, yes, so you know pretty much. No, I want to introduce you to 5 people.
There's a lot of dancers from California as well. A lot of schools from
First
California.
line and 1 person shoulder, 1 line, so 3 and 2.
Right, that's why when we do the procession, we see dancers come from like Guatemala, and there's only one,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But then Texas, we know everything's bigger in Texas, we know.
Should also probably point out that
No, one
there-
line. 5 people only.
5.
Nope.
It's 6 of you girls, 1 out.
One line.
Yes, thank you, Adelina.
This year, there are no international students. I mean, we have a couple, but very, very few. Typically, this competition is
Right.
we have students
Right.
from everywhere. But because of COVID, there's very few who are able to come. Just the fact that we're here is amazing.
It's amazing. Leave it to YAGP to put on the best dance concert of the year. Always, though, kind of. Now, another thing let's notice is there are no guys in this class, right?
Yes.
Now, this is my first YAGP final, and I know after judging like our junior contemporary, we didn't see any guys. They have their own category,
Girls, don't be shy, keep going.
right?
The boys have not competed yet, so that is why you are not seeing any gentlemen today. The boys will do their competition on Saturday, I believe.
Right. That's great.
He
They get their own time.
I also want to take a moment to appreciate not only are these dancers auditioning, but they're doing this class with the two of us standing here talking about them, filming them with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe school directors behind me.
They are unflappable.
Yes.
And I always come back to that. Like, I hate to compare these dancers to myself, but when I was this age, I was not nearly as capable of what they're doing, right? They're doing full variations, contemporary, classical. They're doing intricate choreography. They're in a pressure cooker. They're away from home, a lot of them.
They're having to do what professionals do, but at 12, 13, and 14.
True dat. But just think how much more prepared they'll be when they turn professional, It's going to be a walk in the park. Not quite a walk in the park. All right, we have somebody reversing it unintentionally. All right, let's get those feet pointed, ladies. There we go. We got some clear ancha shakats. You see, the glissade is very different too than what we're used to, right? We're from SAB here. This glissade is the Vaganova glissade, which the shift of weight is very apparent.
Yes.
First, that's going out.
Then we'll do, let's do that. Nice, our best.